Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hadley, the historian, and I'm going to rank empires in a tier list. I have 35 amazing empires from all across the world, all different time periods, and we're going to rank them. And alright, here we go. First one up here, S tier, Roman Empire. You got to put it up there, S tier. One of the best empires out there, definitely. For its time, legendary. The determination of it, the military strength and power, unmatched. The only powers I think at the time who could match it were maybe some of the dynasties back in the day in Asia. But definitely Rome S tier. No one can beat it. Up next is the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. It's very underrated. I gotta put it at B tier because honestly, they get dominated a lot. But their history is very underrated. Their people, culture, wars they've won, very underrated. They kept the Ottomans, the Russians, they were the border of Eastern Europe for so long. They even managed to survive the Black Plague. Very respectable B tier. Alright, right up here in C tier, we gotta put Austria-Hungary. A personal favorite. They don't deserve D tier, but they had a lot of problems in the Hungarian land especially. The Austrian land was very well developed for its time. Again, very underrated, but gotta be C tier. Up next, D tier, the Italian Empire. Let's be real, guys. They sucked. They were nowhere near close to the Rome they wanted to be. They lost against Ethiopia, a country that was never colonized in Africa. Let's be real, D tier. Alright, up next we got the Spanish Empire. I gotta put it at A tier, and if there was a place in between S and A, I definitely would put it there. But I can't, and mainly the reason why it's in A tier, influenced so much of Latin America, so great, but the problem was, they couldn't hold it down. They lost it very quickly, over the span of a couple years, lost it all practically. And towards the late end, not that good. A tier though, very good. Up next in D tier, Belgian Empire, whatever you want to call it. 2 words, Belgian Congo. Up in C tier, gotta go with Imperial Japan during World War II. Mainly because what they did, and they barely had it for long. Really underwhelming. This isn't even the best time of Japan. That honestly has to be when they were isolated. You could put them in B tier, but that's the max I would put them in. Up next, we got the Kings of Communism, the USSR. Don't even deserve to be on this list. Honestly, I would put them in between B and C. They won a lot of wars and stuff early on, but really they kind of sucked overall. They sucked. Maybe military-wise they were good, but they sucked. Leadership, all that. Horrible what they did in Eastern Europe. Horrible. Up next, A tier, gotta be the Aztecs, mainly because of how they came to be. I know they suffered horribly because of that plague, but you can't blame them on that. They were unprepared because of the Spanish, all that. If it was maybe another century from now, they could have been like Ethiopia and fought back. But, nevertheless, gotta be A tier. Their infrastructure, agriculture, amazing. They're the Mongols. They conquered pretty much the same, or almost the equivalent of the British Empire in so much time before them. Up next, D tier, HRE. They weren't even a real empire. They were just an amalgamation of German states. They are a successor to Rome, but still, D. Up next, A tier, Napoleonic France. Short and sweet. They were the biggest power in their time. No one could beat them. Literally, God had to send down weather to destroy Napoleon twice. A tier. Up next, British Empire, S tier, easily. They conquered the most. They were the most influential. You can argue they're more influential than Rome is today. Great empire, S tier. Can almost never be outbeat. Up next, German Empire. They were strong. They were very quick to unify. They were great in war. On par with the British at one point. A little bit lower, but gotta put them in A tier. Also, I'm not including No Germany. Up next, again, B tier, Austrian Empire. This goes all the way back to just normal Austria until it turned into Austria-Hungary. Super respectable, held down their fort for so long, gotta be B tier. Up next, B tier, French Empire from the end of Napoleonic France all the way to its eventual demise. Really did not compare up to Napoleon. Never did. Its influence was a little bit even smaller. Really kind of a disappointment. Even the Germans did better beating them. High A tier gotta be the Byzantine Empire. For 1,000 years, they were the Roman successor. They were the Rome until 1453. They held on for so long. They were a legend in their prime. They are still a legend today. arguably you can put them in S tier, but still. Up next, also in A tier, Ottoman Empire. Without them, colonization would have never happened. Nothing would have never happened. Everything would be so different. They influenced the world. They had so much advances early on. Later on, though, they did fall off very badly. That's why I gotta put them A tier. I don't know why, maybe all that alt history stuff, but honestly, gotta put Carthaginian Empire A tier, because they held down the fort in the Mediterranean for so long until Rome came, and even then Hannibal. Just great empire. Again, they cannot beat Rome, though. Gotta be A tier. And up next, B tier, gotta be the Dutch Empire. They were so great colonially for spices, controlled all of Indonesia. Very impressive, but you gotta put them in B tier. They weren't nearly as dominant. And also B tier, Swedish Empire, very impressive. They controlled the northern hemisphere for so long until Russia came around and the Great Northern War happened. But definitely very underrated. Up next, the big boy, big bad, Alexander's Empire, the Macedonian Empire, the true Greek Empire, really did good, took out all the Persians, had one of the greatest generals on their side. If it lasted a bit longer, I definitely would put it in S tier, but respectable A tier goes out to Macedonia. Up next, B tier, gotta be Russian Empire. They're a lot better than the Soviets. They lasted a whole lot longer, more dominant in influence. But, after a while, they weren't doing too good, especially in the later days. But you gotta admit, Ivan and Catherine, definitely great and legendary. Solid B tier, though, because of those back behind not too good times. I really teetered on putting the Persians in A tier, but the Persian Empire, I think, personally, S tier. They had so many different incarnations, but honestly, their cultural impact lasted for so long. Again, until Macedonia came around, they were so strong, so independent. Personally, S tier. You can argue in A tier. I probably would put in A tier, but still, S. And up next, B tier, gotta be the Umayyads Caliphate. I really wanted to put them in A tier, but I think B tier is more realistic. They controlled so much land for so long, but, didn't last as long and had much of an influence, especially in the Iberian region, but still very respectable B tier. B tier again gotta be the Qing dynasty. They lasted for quite a while. They were very large, one of the largest empires ever, but again, matters on that influence. And since there were so many others, so many different ethnicities in that empire, it really kind of broke apart. Opium Wars meant not do good. Gotta be B tier. B. Alright, this is probably going to be the end of the tier list video for today. I have so many more empires I want to put in here. I will gladly do a part 2 if y'all would like. Comment for other empires you want to see in this. I might do other tier list videos. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, like for more. It really helps out.